Good evening, everybody. It's time again for your Rowdies Talk Radio, the Green and Gold Gospel.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Going through changes and I just can't ignore the signs. They're there now and it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl and hear me howl when the full moon is out. Hear me growl, you see me run, you see me jump. Try to fight, but I emerge with the prize in hand. You better watch out, it's gonna take more than what you got. All eyes are on me and the silence is deafening. There's no help against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play. Wow!
Hello, Rowdies fam, and welcome to the Unused Substitutes, where we like to spread the green and gold gospel in honor of our boy Matthew Cox. My name is Ben Wilcox. As you can see, I am solo tonight. Dan decided that he needed a night off because he's been working so hard. Just a collective awe for Dan. Okay, so look, I'm happy to be here with you guys tonight. This is my first time ever doing a show solo. We'll see how it goes. This could take 20 minutes. This could take 2 hours. I don't know. I have the ability to ramble on about absolute nothingness, as you guys already know. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So, where are we this week? I would say, it's been a good week. Obviously, we're running pretty high from the win. I get it. It's against a lower league team that's pretty low in their division. It's kind of hard to be excited about it, but it's also exciting to have a win because, we've had pretty much a shortage of those. But I mean, I look, it helps make for a better weekend. It helps kind of make you feel more positive going to the week. I know I sure as heck did. I've had a busy week this week. I've had a lot going on. I still have a lot going on. Still trying to get through to Friday. I don't even know what day it is. We're just going to say it's, I don't know, feels like a Wednesday. Sure, it's a Wednesday. So yeah, we're going to rock with that. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully your guys' week is going well. We're midway there. I'm going to try and get this thing out as soon as I can, hopefully by tomorrow, Friday. The downside for you guys, there's nobody here to argue against any of my terrible takes. Oh, sorry about that, but you're just going to have to deal with it or, either light up the comments and tell me how I was wrong. I probably won't read them because, I don't have to. So, this weekend we played against Tormenta, South Georgia Tormenta, and the Jägermeister Cup. I think we all had our concerns given the fact that, obviously, look, we're still not putting the ball in the back of the net consistently. We still haven't put together a full 90 minutes. And really, it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the field. I feel it's more about what we do or don't do that really determines how these games are going to go. And even though I felt good against Tormenta, we played them in preseason, lit them up pretty good. You never know. Plus all the injuries and guys coming back and just obviously all the woes that have been this season. It was hard to tell, how this game was going to go. I still thought we were going to win. I didn't think it was going to be as tight as it was, but I still felt pretty confident. I had talked to a number of the players before the game. They said the same thing. They felt like we were going to win. And honestly, at the end of the day, a win is a win. You got to take the go where you can get it. It's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be the way you drew it up, but you got to take the wins where you can get them. Okay. So all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with this performance. I was sitting up top of the press box to watch this one because I've got a really good spot up there where it gives me an opportunity to kind of see the field from a different level. And I wrote my notes on how I was feeling as the game was progressing. I tried to break it down into quarters, halves, or just kind of into moments of where I felt like what was going on. My holistic view looking out at this game of the day, I actually thought there was a lot of positives that came from this game. I felt like towards the end, we fought all the way to the end, which is something that I've been asking for from this team. They fought until the very last whistle. That's what gave us that last goal. That was pure will to get that ball in the back of the net by Bassett. And the whole team, I think, rallied. You saw something when that last whistle went, blew. There was an energy to the players. There was this weight off their back, right? Like the monkeys off their back. Like, it doesn't absolve all the past sins, But what it did was it looked like we can do this. If we keep fighting, we can win. And it doesn't matter that it was Tormenta. It could have been Louisville. It could have been Charleston. It could have been anybody. It didn't matter who the opponent was. It's this feeling of we fought together as a team and we won. And that's going to be, again, kind of my repetitive takeaway from this game. So getting into it, I mean, I was kind of shocked to not see us start Woobins. I think we're seeing a pattern here, though. I had a lot of people a comment about the fact, like, why are we not starting the one guy who seems to be consistently putting the ball in the back of the net? I don't know about you, but in my experience, typically when you're not putting that guy on the field, it's either A, health, or B, you're trying to send a message to the player. He looks fit. Like, he gets on that field, he looks dangerous. I mean, he instantly made an impact. The second he stepped on that field, our attack looked dangerous. It looked dynamic. It looked multi-leveled. I mean, he changed that attack, and it looked that way all the way through until that very last whistle. He was a problem, right? So for me, I kind of get the feeling like, and I've talked to Dan about this separately, and I won't say the specific points that kind of made me feel this way. What I will say is, though, it feels like either the staff or someone is sending a message to him about some area of his game that needs to be better, something they need more from him, something they need as a leader at the front of the field. You know, just putting the ball in the back of the net is not enough. And I can't think it's healthy. I don't recall any knocks that he's taken. I don't recall any hits or any time he's shown any kind of laboring on the field to make me think that it's got to be an injury minutes related. I mean, it could be. I could be wrong, but I really don't think I am in this one. I really feel like they're trying to send a message because, don't get me wrong, I love Arteaga. Arteaga is still my guy. I know he's struggling. I know he's having a rough season. I still believe that he can turn it around, but this is just one of those years, man. And every striker's gone through it. I talked about it with Yakin. I've talked about it with other guys over at the games. I mean, these things happen. It's the woes of being a striker, right? Because you have one job, right? Put the ball in the back of the net. If you're not even doing that, that's a problem. But he gets the nod. He gets the start today. Let's see if we can do a quick rundown of the actual lineup here. So it was kind of the usual people you'd see out there. The other big change was obviously having Nick Moon on the outside, which I thought Nick did pretty good. I felt like he contributed quite a bit on the right side of the field. I think he offers us something different that we didn't have before there. Obviously, I'm a Wazzy fan. I would love to see Wazzy back. It looks pretty clear to me that whatever injury he suffered is got to be something bigger than what we think it is. I don't think it's like season ending, but obviously it's a decent injury for him to not even be on the sheet or anything. I've been trying to ask, but nobody wants to give me the answers. I mean, it is what it is, but obviously he's hurt. He's hurt pretty good. Look, Nick Moons gets to start, and then the other big surprise, because you all know I'm Team Campisi, Andre gets to start. And look, to his credit, this is his second game in a row, and I thought he looked really good. He had a number of really good saves in this game. I was really happy with what he did. I don't hold that first goal against him. It looked like their player got on the other side of Guillen and just beat him on that to that well, it wasn't a post, but beat him in the middle of the field to the ball, and it just got beat. And I don't necessarily want to crap on Guillen here for getting beat to that ball either. I mean, it happens. I mean, I know that the problem we have this year is like our defense keeps getting lit up, and beaten ways that we're not used to, we're not accustomed to as a team. And I mean, true with Guillen. I mean, again, my standard for Guillen is pretty high. I would think that yours is pretty high for Guillen too. I would think he would even say that this hasn't his best season either. I don't think it has. I mean, I think he's had good moments, but it's not the guy that I think we saw 2-3 years ago where he was dubbed as Guillen Island, where, I mean, he was just, it didn't matter. I didn't care. You could have put, Cristiano Ronaldo out there, and I don't care. I would have put my money on Aaron Guillen. And it's been a rough couple years for him. Although I will say, I do feel like he is getting stronger as the season goes on. I still believe that he wears that captain's armband for a reason. I don't think that's just a coach thing. I believe that's also a player also issued that to him too. So I know the players look up to him, and I know that he wears that with a lot of pride. Look, it happens. It just sucks that goal happens because it really feels like it happened against the flow of the game. I mean, looking into it, like I felt like we really had the momentum. A couple things I noticed: our 1-2 touch getting out of danger in the midfield was much better. I think getting out of tight angles We did a much better job of playing quickly and shifting the field to the other side of the field to get out of dangerous positions, allow ourselves space to grow. That's something I don't feel like we've done very well, but we have done in moments. But this game, I really noticed it. And maybe it's just because of where I was sitting, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I was looking for it, maybe hoping it was there, but I definitely felt like, excuse me, still got a cough. It's great. I really felt like they stepped up their game for this one. Like the 1-2 touch, the stuff that we see in the little training videos and the stuff that I get to see, obviously, because I'm there at the stadium and I watch them train, like the stuff I see them do in training, like it's showing. And these are all positive signs of a team that I think is having cohesion, that is coming together. I think you're seeing as players are getting more of the same players are consistently getting these minutes, and we're getting players back and healthy. And I think some of our, I don't want to say more veteran players, but our more experienced players are getting on the field. I think those things are all having a positive effect. Now, I know that's wow, more experienced players can do more experienced things. I get it. But what I'm saying is that we're seeing progressions, which, again, I know some of you are going to say, but Ben, it's against Tormenta. Guys, I get it. But regardless of who you can only play the opponent in front of you, right? Like you can only deal with the hand you're dealt. Okay. And right now, Tormenta was the next team up, and this is the team we had to do it against. And if we can't do it against Tormenta, we have a problem. So the fact that we did it against Tormenta, one, is a good thing because we should be able to. And two, we weren't doing it for good portions of the season up to this point, and we're starting to see it more consistently and actually effectively be used to get out of dangerous positions and shift the field. And not just playing back to defense and playing out wide, shifting through the middle of the field, getting through Chrysostamo and Venkizil and these other guys, and really using that middle of the field more effectively, which in turn pulls other players out of position, which opens up those areas for attackers and for Bassett, Leo, Tiaga, guys to make use of that space. Or you got Bodily Moon on the outside, being able to make those overlapping runs. I mean, all these things play a part in that, right? So I really was excited about the fact that we were using that transition game, that 1-2 touch, good, sharp, solid passes, soft touch on the receiving of the ball, and playing out of danger. I was really happy to see that. Tormenta, we really forced Tormenta to play deep, especially in this first half. I mean, the goal aside, I mean, like that was, again, I still feel against the flow of the game, but we were really forcing them to play deep. I thought we played a pretty high line, and we really forced them to have to really work that back line and come deeper out of the field. We were able to get a number of turnovers. Let's see here. What else did I write? Yeah. I mean, obviously early in this game, we were favoring our left side pretty heavy. I think it was pretty obvious that Bodily and Leo connection was really, a problem for that right side of their field. It was something that we exposed pretty early on, and we used quite often, in the beginning of the game to create chances. I mean, if you remember, there was at least, man, I mean, off the top of my head, 5 or 6 balls that went right across within the 6-yard box, across that box, that we just were not able to finish or get on the end of, or just put wide. And it's all because those guys were really in sync with one another. And this is something that we expect to get when Leo was able to get healthy and back on the field. These are the things we knew that Leo could do. Bodley does a great job. And shout out to Skinner as well, because Jonathan brought him up a few weeks back, obviously to be more of in a defensive role, but he has played more of that midfield role or subbed in for Bodily. I really think Bodily or Skinner on that left side are really, really evenly matched. I think they both do a wonderful job of utilizing that left side of the field, but I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that Leo is out there as well to offer support, to make space for them, and to get the balls through to them in dangerous areas. There was a number of times where Leo was able to flip right over to the box to let Bodily run right on. That one he put off the keeper's shoulder, which, holy crap, I mean, it was a great sequence of plays that even built up into that, where, I mean, it was consistently happening over and over again. I was really excited to see that. I was just a little frustrated, like we have been all season, that we weren't able to put more of those in the net. We have got to, as we progress, we really have got to do a better job of putting the ball in the back of the net. And look, we talk about this we know that. The team knows that. I mean, I've talked to a few of the players. They feel the same way. They know they need to finish their chances. I mean, just remember, for however frustrated you are, I can promise you, from the guys that I talk to on the team, they're frustrated too. But this matters to them. So they're working hard to try and figure it out and get it right. I think the one thing that we have to do as fans and supporters is recognize the fact, again, I know we talk about this every week, and I know I sound like a broken record, but we need to look at these moments here where they do get a win, be it against whoever, they get a win. They were doing things that we've been asking for, and I think they did them well, consistently well, and they made good on those opportunities outside of the goal. One of my biggest issues in this first half, and I don't know who else noticed it, but one of the things I really noticed is we do a great job in the transition. We do a great job of, call it a counter attack, whatever you want to call it. However we built up and whatever fashion we did it, we do a great job of exploding out and spreading ourselves out to make openings for our players to move up the field. But it's like there's this invisible wall about 30 yards out from the goal, and we stop. We stop and we allow the entire defense to get caught up. And then we have nowhere to play the ball through because it's just we don't know where to go beyond there. And I know that's not something we're coaching into this team, because nobody would do that, because that is a losing strategy. But man, did we do it a lot in the first half, and it was really frustrating. And I don't know if it was just maybe players were not in the positions we needed them to be. Maybe the striker wasn't where he needed to be to open the play. I don't know. And it was wild to me, because it was obvious what we were doing. We were literally moving up the field and stopping 30 yards out and allowing the entire defense to catch up. And I'm just like, why are we doing that? And I bring that up because in the second half, we're going to see the different side of that and what it caused. So really getting up in there, my last couple notes I had here was obviously the Tormenta goal at 29th, which aggravating as all hell, but it is what it is. I don't like that I heard the boos at halftime. I mean, I get your frustration, guys, and I get it. That's not something I would do. That's just not how I operate. And I mean, you do you. I mean, I get it. Fans have a right. They pay their price to get in the field, and they say and do what you want. I think if you're supporting this team, if you truly love this team, I don't see how that has the effect that you're looking for. I think, to me, you're wanting to encourage this team to keep fighting, keep going. Booing a team does not do any of that, right? Like, I think it's the complete opposite. So to me, I don't like it, but again, you do you. So anyway, so we go in at halftime. Again, we squander some chances. We obviously had the better odds of possession. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't honestly care. If you want the numbers, go look them up. I'm sure they exist somewhere. But to the eye test, we obviously had, I think, the better half. I think we moved the ball better. I think defensively, I think we did a much better job of breaking them down. They had some speed guys up top that, quite frankly, looked like they were marked off the field pretty well. I think the midfield, Venkezil and Grisostomo, I think did a wonderful job at adding an extra layer of defense on top of that back line, as well as giving them an outlet to move the ball through to get up the field as well. So hats off to Grisostomo and Venkezil, which I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. Again, I always do. I don't know why. You know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You know, I know, we know. That's good enough, right? All right. Anyways, I thought those two guys, hats off to those two. I thought they did really well in this game, offering us a lot of options offensively and defensively, which is something that I obviously we need right now. I think one of our biggest issues that we have is not finding the overloads in the midfield. It's something that obviously Neil Collins was big about, is finding the times where we had an overload of players, or we could utilize extra numbers in certain spaces in order to get the opposing team off balance, right? And I think by using Venkezil and Chrysostom more as a CDM, like that defensive center mid, I think we were able to use them going forward. Venkezil seems to be the guy that's more of the defensive guy. I know he got up in a couple plays in a couple corners, but I mean, obviously set plays for their own thing. But I think he's more of our anchor in the back, and I really like the way he plays that position. It's obviously more natural for him than it was that right back position, which that's something we need to discuss. Although I personally would like the 3-back system. I think that's the way we need to play, given the players we have. Obviously, it's coach's discretion to decide how he wants to do that. Personally, I want a 3-back. I know I'm used to it, but I've always loved a 3-back. Before Neil Collins did a 3-back, I wanted a 3-back. I just think a 3-back's the way to go. I think it just offers you more, considering what's the one thing that Rowdies have always done player-wise. We have an embarrassment of riches in midfield. Well, if you're going to have an embarrassment of riches in the midfield, you might as well play a system that is conducive to a bunch of midfielders, which 3-5-2 is exactly that. Anyways, rant over. We keep moving. All right, we're back on the game here. Second half, again, we're too slow in the final third. It's still there. Oh wait, hold on. First half, we had a couple substitutions I want to bring up. Let's see here. Blake Bodley. Nope. Let me go back. Sorry. Hold, please. Forrest takes that insane, like, football hit from that one guy and only gets a yellow card for it, which I thought was pretty wild. I mean, he didn't even go for the ball. He went straight for Forrest. And I get Forrest is the big guy, like not like a massive, like, wide guy. He's a tall guy, but I mean, holy crap, man! I mean, like, he went right through. I mean, as much as he could, right through Forrest, and he went down. And so we were forced to make a substitution there. I will say, I'm pretty sure Forrest is fine. I think it was more precautionary at this point. White came on in the that center role, which I know boy, did I hammer away at Lawrence White in those last couple games, and I was mad. I didn't want him back on the field. I didn't think he deserved to be on that field. I got to tell you right now, if the Lawrence White that played this game is who we're going to get the remainder of the season, I will stand by him for the rest of the season because he played that position exactly as he needed to not just be effective, but to be a great backup for all the other players around him. I thought he did a phenomenal job covering the center back position, which is not easy to do. I mean, like, Forrest that's some big shoes to fill. I mean, not only is it literally big shoes to fill, dude's a big dude. I mean, it's also the fact that it's the role that he carries. He's the general on the field. He is the one calling out to everyone. He's the one telling people where to move to. He's the one calling the shots and moving the ball back and forth. I thought Lawrence White stepped in and had himself a hell of a game, and I believe he deserves his props this game. I don't know if he'll ever listen. I don't know if somebody listening will ever tell him, but he deserves to be congratulated for having himself a hell of a game because to come back from those last two games, especially when they get a red card in, which, let's all be honest, we were all pretty pissed about. It seemed like a selfish red card to get. I thought he came out this game and did himself justice. I thought he represented the team well. I feel like that's a guy that came out. That Lawrence White reminded me a lot of the one that Neil Collins was able to mold and take all of the best parts of him and focus him in a direction and keep him on task, because that is exactly what he did here. All right, enough Lawrence White love motion. I thought he did a wonderful job. I was very happy with him. Nick Moon comes off also in the 46. Alexander Rodriguez comes in. Look, I guess I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other about Alex Rodriguez. I have my concerns. I feel like there's holes in his game that do concern me. However, I also think he does certain things really well. And I will say that putting in a full half and a few extra minutes here, obviously in the first half, I thought he did very well in this role. Because I was very happy with Nick Moon. I thought Nick Moon was doing a really good job. I'm not 100% sure on the reason for why he came out. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't know if it was just minutes or if he got tackled or a knock or a pull. I don't remember off the top of my head. I just don't. But either way, Alex Rodriguez comes in, and I thought he did very well in this game. And I'll allude to something I saw post-game that also really encouraged me, also just as a fan. So we'll get to that later. So anyways, so that's the end of the first half. Second half, like I said, we're slow. We're having issues. We're still creating opportunities, but it's like this invisible wall when we're getting to like 30 yards out. And it's wild to me because it was so glaringly obvious. Well, finally, we make a substitution in the 64th, and we bring on Wubens Passius, and Van Casil comes out. So obviously, we're going more attacking, right? So we're playing two up top. We're doing more like a 3-5-2 in this case, but we are going for this game, which I like. You know, I'm all for it. So what is the first reaction when Wubens comes on here? He is an instant problem. I want to say one of the first touches he get, we're bursting out of the back. Bassett feeds him up the line. He opens up his hips to the line. One touches it right by a defender, is immediately down on the goal. Now he misses, but he's immediately a problem, and he doesn't stop 30 yards out. He pushes all the way to that box, and immediately I thought the attack looked better. I mean, I think we all agree Wubens is the guy that we pretty much all know is created all of our offense. He is a problem, right? I wish I knew what the heck was going on. Whatever it is, I hope the heck he figures it out, because when he's on the field, we're just a different team. And it's no surprise that his pace and his movement, specifically to the outside and across, making those diagonal runs and behind the defense, are a problem. And we need him. We need him to be out there on that field if we're going to give ourselves the best chance to win. So whatever's going on there between the coaching staff or him or whatever it is, I really need him to figure it out, because instantly, And in that 65th minute, 64th minute, it was a problem. And no surprise, what happens, I think it was like 5 minutes later. Let's see, he comes on in the 64. So, okay, about 15 minutes later, he ends up getting the goal. And one part of it's just being in the right place at the right time. The defender kind of flubs the ball, and what does he do? Takes it off his heel, turns, kind of cuts it back inside, and just kind of does a nice little inside the foot curl to the far post, side netting. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's a great goal. I don't think it was a striker's goal. I mean, call it what you want. I mean, it was a good goal. It's a goal that we needed. But instantly, the whole energy of the team just blows up, and it's just like there was this life that was breathed back into us. That, I mean, we were fighting, but we needed this. And again, I mean, Wubens comes on, and he instantly becomes a problem anytime he's on the field. I personally, I love that. Again, lovely cough. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I noticed is like when we counter with pace, we look unstoppable. I mean, really, the goal was really a product of what we were building ever since it came on the field, was constantly building and flying up the field and not giving the defense a chance to breathe. I mean, that's really what caused all the chaos. Shortly after that goal, we make a couple more substitutions. Again, Joey Skinner comes in for Blake Bodley. Again, like for like. And, I mean, look, the good for us, because I think Bodley does a wonderful job out there. I'm a huge fan of Bodley. I like him out there. Joey Skinner has won me over. I think he has consistently proven since the first Jägermeister Cup game that he deserves to be on the field, and that he offers us a lot of options out there. I know that there's talk of bringing him on defense. I think maybe, yeah, John, to your point, I think if we played a 4-back system, I could see him coming in and playing like a wing back kind of role, or even just playing the left mid kind of role, moving Guillen in possibly. But I gotta say, man, I mean, I love a 3-5-2 or whatever iteration of that formation you want to play that equals out to about a 3-5-2. That's what I want to play. And I like Skinner on that left-hand side. I thought, again, he had himself a great game. He created problems. I was really happy with what he produced. And then Guillen comes off, and you get Mustali that comes on. And I thought it was interesting. So, again, this was a commitment from the coaching staff that we want to win this game, right? Like, I mean, basically, you don't put on our only 3 strikers, unless your intent is to go for the win and say, to hell with it, throw caution to the wind, we're going for it. And I gotta say, surprisingly enough, with 3 strikers, I really liked it. I actually thought those 3 guys almost worked better, and I actually thought Arteaga looked even better with having Mustali and Wubens around him to play off of. I actually thought he came alive in those last, 10, 12 minutes of the game. It's like 15 minutes, but I thought even he came alive with the 3 there, which would seem kind of crazy, because it almost seemed like there was too many bodies in a very small space, especially at the top of the box, where the 3 of them often found themselves. But I thought the 3 did well. And I mean, watch out now, but as Mustali has played more games, he is looking very good. I mean, he has grown, and I don't just mean in ways you grow in confidence on the field. He plays like a grown man sometimes. Some of the way he bodies off players, the way he goes in for challenges, there's a ferociousness in the way he played in this game that I didn't notice before, and I was very pleased to see how grown he played, I guess is a good way to put it. I feel like he played beyond his years in this game, and obviously somebody's rubbing off on him. Obviously, the more minutes he gets, the better that's going to be for us. I'm not saying he could carry us up top. I don't know if that's the case, but what I will say is when he comes into a game, it's not just a young kid coming on to get minutes. He's a young man out there proving his place on the field and making sure that people have to pay attention to what he's doing, because he can make plays. He can hold players off and find space with the ball, defeat a player through. He can win you the balls in the air. He's good at moving off of the other players around him. He's good at finding the space and making the delayed runs. I mean, I tell you, the kid has really grown on me. I was really, really happy to see. I was happy to see him have the game that he did. Again, I know, guys, it's Tormenta. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I don't care. You play the team in front of you. That's all you can do. These are the things we were supposed to do. And I felt like we did it. I felt like Mustali did good by himself. So anyway, so all 3 strikers out there, they look to be in better sync. Again, another note that I had, Wyke was absolutely solid. I think he He locked down that back line phenomenally well. I was really happy to see. If I remember correctly, when Guillen comes out, Rodriguez drops. He dropped into that position, did he not? Yes. Yeah, Rodriguez dropped into his role. He dropped in for him. I think he played well defensively. I think this back three did a wonderful job of not allowing anything to get really in behind him. I know he did a couple times, but again, Bondre, I think did very well, and good for him. I mean, that's I have talked to Dabo quite a few times. I've talked to our goalkeepers. I've talked to guys that have played. Like I've talked to Matt Pickens about it. I mean, the whole point of that is it like those guys, those goalkeepers, like they all want to start, but their goal is to make each other better every single day. And if you're going to get your chance, you got to be ready. So you got to be bringing your A game in practice too. But you're also wanting to make sure that you're making the guy in front of you better as well, because it forces you to be better. And Bondre has stepped up in here and I think done phenomenally well. I'm still not 100% sure why Campisi lost the role. Again, I'm still Team Campisi. I would say when everyone on this team looked like they were lost after the first 3 games and we were looking even worse, he came along and found his place, and I think kept us in and gave us a chance in a lot of games. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but again, look, no hate to Bondre. You do you, man. You did a wonderful job. Thank you for keeping the ball to the back of the net. I think you played your ass off and you earned every single minute of that game, and you deserve to be recognized for having yourself a hell of a game. And if you get the call for the next game, it's deserved. You're taking advantage of your opportunity and you're doing something with it. And then look, that's all you can do, right? So anyway, so we're getting super late in this game, and I mean I don't know about you guys, but I felt like it was coming. It felt like the crowd was getting louder. I thought the crowd for as light as it was in certain ways, I think the crowd got better as the game went on, and that outlook. I mean, the game got better, the tension got better. We were back in this game. We were creating opportunities. So obviously, it's a natural progression, right? But I mean, you could feel an energy, especially like as soon as you get to that 90th minute, the guy holds up, the fourth official holds up the 5 minutes. I'm like, we're gonna score here. I'm like, this is coming. Like, I mean, I just it felt like it was happening, and sure enough, I mean, we kept pumping the ball into that box and just being an absolute tear in there. Thankfully, the ball falls to Bassett, who is just an absolute dog. And he fought and fought and fought and fought and fought. And it just happened to pop out at a perfect spot for him to get his toe on that ball and tuck it in the far post. And yeah, 94th minute. I mean, there you go. We get a goal. We win the game. And like, look, I mean, a well-earned win. I don't focus on who we played so much as the fact that we did the things we've been asking for. I think we more or less played the best 11 we have available. I think the players that were asked to come in, I think did the roles they were asked to do, and I think they did them very well. I think coaching staff deserves credit for getting this team ready, regardless of who the opponent was. You can tell this team is doing things and taking to heart some of the strategies and progressions they're doing in training, because it showed, and it should show against a lower level team that we should be better than. The name of the game here is going to be like transitioning into some of these bigger games like we do next week. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about post game was, man, did you see the players' reactions to this win? Like, God, they were exhausted for one, but I don't know if it was much exhaustion as it was just relief. There was this thank God kind of feeling like, hell yeah, we did the things we were supposed to do. We worked our asses off. We fought to the end and we got the win. And you could see the way the guys were celebrating. Something that really made me happy, just as a fan of these guys individually and as players. As soon as the game's over and the whistle goes off, I'm sitting there and I'm staring at Castellanos, and he rolls over to Rodriguez, and they're sitting there talking about the game. What were they seeing? I mean, literally, in the midst of the celebration, the whistle just blew 4 seconds ago. These guys are sitting there talking, and you're seeing Castellanos just talking out with Rodriguez about what he's doing, and you could see he was giving him great information. They were talking about what he's seeing, what he could or should have done in these situations or moments, what could have helped him. Like, he's helping coach him on that back line, which I love seeing that, because I love seeing a guy who obviously has played at the MLS level, unloading all this good knowledge on a young kid who is trying to find his way in the league and make a name for himself. And that was something that I was really excited to see. And that was just one instant of that moment between them. I mean, you saw all the guys out there just really, I mean, there was this bond that was clear to anyone that was looking for it amongst these players after the game. Like it felt good. Now, I did see a couple players one specifically going at the referee at the end of the game. I don't know what that was all about. Here's my thing. At the end of the game, if you win, there's no injuries, there's no red cards. Even if the referee has himself an awful game, shake his hand, walk away. Shake his hand, walk away. Why start a fight with the referee at the end of a game that's already over? Has anyone ever changed a referee's mind by going up and yelling at him and sticking their finger in his chest? Has that ever worked? Has there ever been a positive outcome that's come from that? Because I don't feel like there has. And I never understood that. And look, maybe there is a reason. Maybe he needed to get something off his chest that he felt earlier in the game because obviously they didn't finish the game. I don't know, but shake the hand, get off the field, go do your meeting in the middle of the field with your teammates, enjoy that win, take Sunday off, get back to the field Monday, do your ice baths, do your recovery, do whatever you got to do, and let's get back to it, man. And forget about it. You wipe this game away. I would hope they've all forgot about it by now. I mean, it is Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah, I would hope they would have all forgotten about it by now. I don't know. It was just something that bugs me. I never understood it. I always think it after games whenever I see players, and it's not even just our players, any player. Why? Even when I play, and look, I get it. I never played this level. I never played college. I get it. I get it. But it's always been my thing where it's just like, why bother? It doesn't solve anything. Anyways, rant over. So look, guys, we got the win. I think the substitutions, I think they made good, timely substitutions. We actually brought players into time that they could make a difference. I would love to know what's going on with Passes. I'd love to know what's happening there because whatever it is, man, like, hey, dude, can you please, for all of us? I mean, I get it. You're the guy that's scoring. Nobody else is scoring. I get it, man, but dude, it's obvious. We need you on the field. All right. We need you on the field. And whatever they're asking you to do, just do it. Please, please, please. For all of us. For all of us. Just please do it. Whatever it is. I don't know. Because we need you out there, man. We do. We really need you out there. All right. Well, look. Again, we take a step back from this game. Again, I was really happy with the outcome. I mean, ultimately, look, we needed a win. I mean, just for moral sake, we needed a win. And I don't care who the hell the opponent was. I was so happy to get that W. And again, like I said at the beginning of this thing, like it just makes Sunday easier. It makes those conversations happier. It gives people hope. And at this point, guys, there's a few things that we can hold on to, and hope is one of those few things, right? And that's what we need. So, all right. So what do we got next on the agenda here? Louisville. Yeah, that Louisville. And of course, it's at Louisville. It's going to be a tough game. I don't think there's any way to slice it. I think it's going to be a tough game. And understanding that translating anything from a game against one of the worst teams in USL League One to one of the top tier teams in the championship is kind of a tough transition to make. However, I do feel like this team is good enough to compete with anybody in this league. I still believe that, even though we haven't necessarily shown it this year, except in spurts, I still think we can compete with them. And ultimately, look, why the hell not have the belief that you can? Why not tell yourself, I don't give a shit what we've done before now. I don't care what they've done before now. Why can't we go out there and compete with them? Who's to say that we can't go out there and put a couple of balls in the back? I know they're dangerous, and I know they're going to create opportunities, but I believe whoever gets the start and goal, I think is going to give us a chance to stay in that game. I think the defense played well, and I think we've given ourselves an option or two to step in should we need an extra backup on that back line or step into a four-back system. Not what I want, but if we need to, I think we can. Obviously, we still need more support in the defense, but I think that we've given ourselves an option here. And if we can keep Wyke from this past game going forward, he creates a problem. And he creates a problem for other teams. I think the midfield held together well. I think if we can continue to move out of tight spaces, which we know Louisville is going to high press the hell out of us, they're going to be looking for turnovers. They're looking to be quick turnovers. We know they're a fast strike team. They're not a counteract team. They will build up on you. They will take you up on anything you give them. They'll take it. But a team like that, you have to just consistently keep breaking out of spaces and looking for openings and finding your own space. Don't get locked into their game. Don't play into their strengths, which I get that they have plenty of them. But they're going to be looking to play into high press. The best way out of that is getting those 1-2 touches, let their players challenge, run for the ball, let the ball do the work. Get yourself out of tight spaces, switch the field of play, get yourself up the field, create some opportunities. I think we can. Still need to see Arteaga put the ball in the back of that. He still looks like he doesn't know how to strike the ball. I don't know how you fix it, and I don't know what the fix is. I know that Steve is putting him on for a reason, whether it's from a lack of anyone else being up there, or he believes is the best way to get him through whatever this is that's happening. I do believe it's going to click at some point for Arteaga. I really do. And I'll say it all the way up until the final game of the season, if that's what it takes, because you don't come off, even on a bad year, an 18 goal season last year and completely forget how to strike a ball. You just don't. And again, if you're having a hard time getting balls into the box to make those chances, what have we been professing? Take shots from outside the box. We did it a few times this past game. Leo had a couple of opportunities that, well, maybe a little bit off target. When you take chances from outside the box, you force their players to step up and close down the space, which in turn opens up other areas. And I think what we've been doing is doing a better job at opening up other holes. Leo obviously helps a ton with that, with his style of play and his vision, whether it be Skinner or Bodley on the outside. I think they're getting in sync with Leo helps. Bassett is a problem for anyone. I don't care how good or bad we're playing. He is a problem, and you've got to know where he's at. And if you don't, he's going to make you pay. And I think Leo and Bassett have been getting much better, more in sync with one another, which is positive. Nick Moon, assuming he's healthy, it was just a minutes thing. I think if he's able to get out there in this game, I liked him on that right side. I thought he was effective. I think he's got a good vision of the field. I think he's quick enough to do the things we need him to do. And at the same time, I think he's talented enough to create problems when he works off of Ollie or any one of the strikers. Look, if you ask me to give you predictions as to how or what the score would be, I guess would probably be the best question. No, I don't think we win this game. I don't. I just don't. But I don't think we don't win this game because we aren't good enough. I think we are still figuring ourselves out. I think we give ourselves a chance in this game. Could we get a tie? Yeah, we could. We could get a tie. But I think it's going to be like a 2-1 situation. But I don't know if it's going to be a 2-1 situation where they get 2 goals early and then we've got to break them down, or if it's going to be one of those where we happen to find the back of that and then they just come roaring back against us. I don't know. But I will say, and whether we were playing great soccer or bad soccer, Louisville at Louisville is a problem. For anyone in this league, whether it be East or West Coast, it is a problem. They have made that place a fortress for a reason. Good on them. But these are good things, right? Like, I want these challenges. If I'm a player and I want to be challenged, because that is how I get better. And I believe that our guys aren't afraid of a challenge. I think we spend so much time trying to get an identity and getting a cohesion on the team that a lot of these other things that I think are important in a game and in a team weren't happening. But I think we're starting to see it more consistently, and I think we're seeing a belief. And I get it. We could get absolutely smothered in this game, lose 4-0, and, I was completely wrong. What do I know? But I mean, that's why I'm over here on a microphone and these guys are the ones on the field. Anything could happen. But I do believe we have the talent to compete with this team. I don't know if we have enough to compete or to beat them, but I do think we can compete. And let's not forget, look, we still got Lewis Hilton, who, while maybe he didn't play, he was on the bench. I very much believe that he gets some minutes in this game. Again, and taking away absolutely nothing from Crisostomo or Vic Kizil, Hilton is a different beast. Now, he is not going to be the same Hilton that first time he steps on the field. It's just not. you got to get game speed ready. And I mean, Hilton is a competitor. He will fight. I know he will. He's going to be on limited minutes, but I think he plays this game. I don't know if he starts or if he comes on. I'd love to see him start and just give him the go and just say, go for it, man. Go to town. But the other side of me is like, maybe that's not the way to go, because we're still starting. We are building a good sync between the guys that have been consistently playing every week. And I think maybe keep that consistency and bring him on in a or a 60th and let him finish out a game. But I will say that Lewis Hilton getting healthy and coming back on the field is positive. I talked to him last week, and well, I've talked to him a couple times the past couple weeks, which again, I love Lewis Hilton. Just such a great guy, but he's a difference maker. He just is. And I think we all know that. The way he pushes the ball, not just side to side, but he'll push the ball. He'll change the level of attacks. He'll be an outlet for the defense. Yes, he'll shift the ball left and right, but he'll also put that ball through the middle of the field to open up a player to change the lines. I mean, there's a lot of things that he brings that if we can get him back on the field, like, watch out. It's going to be a problem. And I'm excited for that. I think he's on the right track. And again, I know I said it earlier, but I think Lasso's fine too. I don't think he doesn't get the nod for the start. I'd be highly surprised unless something he picks up a knock this week in practice, which I mean, it could happen anytime. I think he's green light to go for this game. So, I mean, look, I'm who knows, man? I am going to choose to be optimistic going into this one. You can choose to be whatever you want. You can choose to be a tree. I don't care. You do you, boo-boo. I'm going to choose to be positive and say, look, I think we got a fighting chance. I think if we can come out with a tie, I think if you roll from this past game into this game, we can tie Louisville. Then you've got what? You roll into what? I think it's Miami at home. I mean, yeah, you get Miami at home and you get Pittsburgh away and then Indy home. I mean, I'm not saying that this isn't a chance to get yourself kind of on a roll, but I mean, it's got to happen somewhere, right? And sometimes you need an upset. Maybe Louisville doesn't prepare for us because they don't think we're, maybe they don't look at us like we're shit. Because we haven't been. And we catch them off guard. Maybe we beat them. I don't know. It's possible. Not probable, but it's possible. Okay? But I'm going to choose to be optimistic and say here that I think we can get a point out of this game. And it might be an ugly point. It might be one of those where they are clearly the better team and we somehow squeak out a tie. I don't care. I say we get a point out of this game. I say we're going to tie. That's it. I'm saying by it. I'm saying this game is going to be a 1-1, 2-2 kind of game. It is going to be a tie. It is going to be shocking to many, except to me because I'm calling it right now. You're welcome. And I think it puts us on a very interesting trajectory over the next 4 games. There was a listener question saying, man, actually, what was the question? Let me go back to it here. Let's see here. So with everyone being healthy, what is our best 11? I'll get to that in a second. But what does a good June look like? I'm going to be honest with you because I want to keep the standard high. I want to believe that we're on the right track. Man. Just kidding. Coughing's great. I love it. You got to get on a roll somewhere along the way. It has to happen somewhere. And at some point, and it can happen at any given moment, my whole point is why not now? I think you could roll a point out of Louisville, so 1 point there. I think we should beat Miami because we should have beaten Miami the last time. But we just fell apart in penalties in the second half. The best soccer we've played all year was in the first half against Miami. I absolutely believe that this team can do it again and finish the game. So I'm going to say that we're going to beat Miami. That's 3 points. So 4 points, all right? Pittsburgh. Dogfight. At Pittsburgh. Always a dogfight. Always a dogfight. I think you want the win, but I think that ends up being a tie, and that's okay. Tie away, win at home. That's the name of the game. That's the way you get to the finals. Or you get to the dance. I'll take a tie. I'll take a tie there. That is 5 points. And then I think you beat Indy at home. And that gives you 8 points. I think 8 points. Yeah, I think 8 points over the course of this month, which seems crazy given everything that's happened at this point of the year, because I'm assuming we're going to get 2 more wins than we already have in the regular season, which is none. And I'm also saying that we're going to get big points on the road against two very tough away opponents, which again is not something that we really have done. But you know what? Again, this is where we're going to start. We're going to start this transition. I think there's some players coming back. I got to believe that there is something coming. And I think this is just, one step in the right direction. Andres Isaza? Is that your name? I'm terrible at names. I apologize. If that, you can tell me how to say it later, but you also asked for my best 11. I'm going to get to that because I actually put down my best 11, but I got to bring up a different point before I can actually get to that. I already talked about potential player updates. I think with Hilton, I think we're going to see him and Lasso coming back. There's also a lot of noise about this new signing thing. Now, I didn't know anything about it. It kind of got brought to my attention. Somebody sent something to me on Twitter about this potential new signing, Luis Alvarez, coming from Charlotte Independence, 22-year-old, supposed to be an incredible player, and is capable of playing any position in the midfield. Basically, any midfield position, he can do it. But Charlotte has him listed as a striker, even though he's technically a midfielder. I think if that's the case, I think either we are planning to bring him in as another problem up top, or he's a center attacking mid, somebody that you would line up with like a Bassett or something like that. But assuming there's this is even a deal that's even going to happen, I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard from anyone, but I mean, there seems to be a lot of smoke around this guy as far as him signing with us. And what's the saying? Where there's smoke, there's fire. So, I mean, maybe the team made a move and we don't know about it. And yeah, it would be again into a position that we have an embarrassment of riches in the midfield. I'm sure Dan would say, okay, but we really need a pure striker. We need another right back. All things true. But I look, another guy that can play any position in midfield and also be a problem up top. Yeah, I mean, sign me up, man. I'm in. I'll take him. And a 22-year-old kid at that. Yeah, I mean, look, if this is a legit thing, we're really going to bring him in. I mean, okay, thank you, Rowdies, for showing that you are actively out there trying to find talent to bring in to bolster up this team. That's a good move in the right direction. And to the front office and to Nico, well done. I will give you props. If this is a legit thing, and you guys have been working on this, then as much shit as I have given you guys about not showing us your investment in this team, this would be showing us that you are, and I will give you props where it's deserved, because if this kid is legit, if this signing is legit with him coming to Tampa, I think he's a damn good signing, and kudos, man. I really like this kid. I was reading up about him. They seem to be real high on him. He comes out of Honduras. Again, he's 22 years old, absolutely electric of a player. I think he was like the young player of the year, something like that. Last year, the year before that, whatever, I don't know. But watch some gameplay of this kid. It would be like having another like a Bassett out there, just an absolute problem. Which, hey, I mean, the more problems, good with me, man. I mean, anything we can cause defenses to give them headaches and open up our attackers to put balls in the back of the net, sounds good to me. So, with that being said, even though again I have no confirmation whether or not it's even a thing, it could all just be a bunch of crap. Who knows? I mean, for Christ's sake, we had Zlatan to Tampa as a thing for a while now. Obviously, he's not Zlatan. And I think we all knew what was going on there. But I'm just saying, look, I mean, anybody could put a meme together and show a guy going anywhere. I mean, that could be anything. And until the team announces it, I'm not going to buy it. But I can remain optimistic because that is the theme here. So, another listener question. Stephen Cundiff. Dan, what a bum. That's it. I agree. Well done, Cundiff. So, Andreas Isazo's second question. What is our best 11? Well, look, for you guys that are listening, this is going to be a bit of a struggle because I did actually put an 11 together. Fair or not, I did it with the Luis Alvarez kid, potentially. Assuming he's coming, which again, I don't know, but I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm going to say he's here, or he's going to be here, or he is coming to Tampa. I made the assumption that let's say this kid is a done deal. He's coming here. I put him on my start 11. I'm going to share my screen and kind of show what I put on. So for all you guys that are watching, you get to see what I put together. It's not exactly in the positions where I want them, but you more or less get the idea of what I'm trying to accomplish. For you guys listening, I'll try to explain it best I can. But these are more or less the guys that I would like to see. So let me find them. And let's see. Here we go. All right. So look, I know that I'm a Campisi guy, right? Like I love Campisi. He's my dude. And I would love to see him back in net. However, I am happy to admit that Bondre has done a phenomenal job. He has made some tremendous saves. And he is currently the number one. And he is on that back line. He is the starting goalkeeper. And I'm good with that. Again, keeping true to what I like. I like a 3-back system. I believe Guillen, Lasso, and Castellanos are 3-backs moving from left to right. I think that is our best option right there. Again, now I was asked this, or the whole thing was posed with obviously assuming everyone's healthy and everyone's good and blah, 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 blah. So this is, if everyone's healthy and on the field and ready to go, I mean, this is who I would start right now. I'm definitely losing my voice here. I would play Lewis Hilton on top of them as your holding defensive center mid. I think he is the guy that he is your connective glue between our attack and our defense. He is the outlet when our defense needs it. He is the creativity, an engine that forces this midfield to move around. I think he is just an absolutely vital part of what we are trying to do as part of our identity. I think he absolutely has to be the guy in that role. Next, I've got three guys layered on top of him. I've got Blake Bodley playing the left, traditional, more of a left mid position. I have Pacifique Nyangaberi Wazi playing right, more of a right mid position, or right winger, right mid position, and Ollie Bassett in the middle of them. So and look, you could put Skinner on the left for Bodley. I think either one of those guys would do well. Bodley has obviously had more time with us. He's had more time with our current team. So I think he earns the start over Skinner. However, if Skinner were to get that position, I would not be upset. I think he also offers us a lot. And I think he's a darn good player. So I would not be upset with that. I don't think I have to make any argument for Bassett, do I? I think we all kind of agree that Bassett is just, the guy's a dog. He hasn't had necessarily the best past two games. I think he's almost been trying to do too much, but that guy playing 85% of his best is still one of the best on the field, regardless of the talent of who we're playing. I want that guy on my field. And I want him in the middle of my field because he moves all over. Here's the thing, and reminder with formations. Formations look great, and they look pretty when you start a game, and the graphics are all nice and da-da-da-da. If I learned anything under Neil, and I've said it the last couple weeks in a row, they don't mean anything. They are a starting point. They are a concept, but these things flow. As different moments present themselves in games, the team will adjust in the way in which they need to in order to best combat whatever's being thrown at them. So they might be in one position when they start, or whenever you throw out the graphic, that doesn't mean they're going to stay there. And I think that's going to probably be true for Ollie, Lewis, and Leo, that you'll come to find. Nyangaberi on the right-hand side, I don't think I need to justify that. I think he's our best right mid. I think he's a problem. He's fast. He's smart. He's confident with the ball at his feet. He doesn't mind taking players on, which is something I think he's gotten better at up until that injury. I'm a little bummed. Obviously, he's down right now, because I think this would be a great time to really have him in that lineup, especially as Lewis is coming back and everyone else, but we'll just have to see. Now, on top of that, again, I know that Luis Alvarez is not here yet. I know that there is no definitive saying that he's here. I just put him on here. So you could throw, I guess, a Nate Worth. You could throw Mustali in that Luis Alvarez role. But assuming that Luis Alvarez is here, I put Luis Alvarez and Leo Fernandez playing as those the ACM, kind of like dual ACMs. But truthfully, they're all going to rotate with Bassett. I think whoever plays in Luis Alvarez's role, along with Ollie Bassett and Leo Fernandez, those guys are going to be moving it. That is going to be an ever-flowing and changing kind of roving position. All three of those guys move so much off of one another. And I just realized I put Leo on the right side to the left, when he definitely should be there with Bodley, because that's definitely his strength. Anyways, move on. I put them up there, though, in that role, because I think we're only going to play a one striker. And the only reason I say we play one striker is because I think when you've got those guys underneath him, all the goals will not be specifically held on by passes, which, again, is not a terrible thing, but I think we become more dynamic, and we can create more goal scoring opportunities for other players, which any championship level team that is worth their weight in anything at all, especially as you see the guys that have won the last few years, they may or may not have the golden boot, but they've got a few players that are striking balls and putting balls in the back of the net. It's not just one player, which is unfortunately what we are right now. We're one player getting all these goals. I think in this system, what ends up happening is you're going to create a lot more openings, and you're going to get more goals from other players, but it also will allow Woobens to open up more and get more chances to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think as a whole, that raises our whole attack. So again, I have Woobens up top. To me, I feel like that is our best chance for getting, as far as the best 11 right now. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy if you guys think that I'm completely off base. Again, forgive my graphic. I didn't have a lot of room to play with. It didn't really give me a lot of options. The app that I found to do this with, it kind of just said, here, this is kind of what we're going to give you. Here's a template. Put your name and player and colors here. So that's what I did. Oh, even though it kind of looks like a 3-1-3-2-1, I don't think that's a real lineup, but whatever. I mean, that's kind of more or less what it is. But obviously, these players are going to be a lot more, there's going to be a lot more ebbs and flow in the movement amongst these guys, especially the three in the middle between Lewis, Leo, and Ollie. So that's what I think. I'd be curious to know what your lineups are. What do you guys like? Well, I mean, what would you like to see? Given everything perfect, all players healthy, everyone ready to go 100% right now, like literally like jumping into the pit to get on the field. You know, who would be your starters? Who would be your substitutions for those guys? Who would you like to see get a chance? Would you play a different formation? Do you think there's a better formation given the talent that we have? I love doing these things. Like I love kind of breaking these things down. So if you've got an idea of what you'd like, you know, feel free to let us know and post it to our page or post it to, you know, Dan or I's page, man. I'm always curious to see what people come up with. I mean, I have my own view of the team and my own view of the players and the talent and so on. But that, you know, I see the game. I want to see the game. Okay, you might see the game completely differently, and I love that. I would love to be. Show me why you think your ideas are better. Why do you think that what you're seeing makes more sense or is closer to what's actually going on? That's what I love about doing the podcast because Dan and I don't always agree. In fact, we disagree quite often. But there's a lot of things that we do agree on. So the whole point of this is, you know, I want you to feel like you can sit at a table with us and just talk with us. And the best way you can do this, comment on the post, send us a message, whatever, man. I love conversation, especially talking Rowdies, man. This is like my you know, I bleed for this team. I have bled for. I bled on the damn field. I mean, I love the Rowdies. I love Rowdy soccer. Soccer is my number one love outside of my family and my son. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and such, guys. So, you know, tell me what you think. Yeah, man. Going away from that, I mean, look. There's a lot that's going to happen over the next month. We've only got 2 home games this month. It's going to be a little bit easier schedule for some of us. I'd really love to see you guys get out there. And really get loud. I mean, I ultimately, I don't care what happens in Louisville. I don't care if it's a blowout or if it's a tie or if it's a win. I still want to see people show up. You know, I want to see you guys get out there, be loud for this team, push this team. I challenge you to get out here and just root these guys on and push them past the limits. Maybe they know if they have, you know, and support this team. You know, because that's the one thing we can do to make it a home field advantage and to let our boys know that we believe in them. Because I do believe in them. I believe that they're working their asses off for us. I know it matters to them. I mean, I talk to them. I know it matters to them. Yeah, guys. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, anything can happen. We got a couple more days here. I mean, again, I'm going to try and get this thing put together. Probably not gonna happen. I gotta be honest. I'm pretty tired and I'm still not feeling 100%, man. Whatever this is that I had, has just completely kicked my ass. And it has not let go yet. But hey, man, we keep moving. So look, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Like, comment, share, all those fun things when it comes to the show, man. We do this show for you guys. I want you to know. I mean, the interaction we have with you is what it's all about. I mean, again, the whole premise of this is that you guys can feel like you're sitting down at a table with us, having a drink, having a coffee, or you're out riding a bike, listening to the podcast, laughing with us, yelling at us. We want you to feel like you're in the room with us when we're doing this. So, you know, your guys' interaction is what makes the show great. And, you know, we just enjoy being able to talk Rowdies every week. So congratulations to the guys. It was a good win. I'll take it. We're still alive in the Jägermeister Cup. I completely forgot. I was supposed to take a shot. All right, I tell you what. I will save that shot for next week. In fact, you know, because Dan will be back by then, and Dan's going to take a shot too. And it was his idea. So I will make sure that both Dan and I both have shots next week in honor of this win. So, you know, I got there. We're going to get there. Everything's good. Life is good. I love you guys. Come on, you Rowdies.
When the Rowdies play soccer, it's a sight to behold. You'll swear they'll be devils with magical toes. You'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll leap from your seat when they kick with their head instead of their feet. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The Rowdies run here, the Rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the Rowdies, the Rowdies, the Rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Tampa Bay Rowdies take the field, there's a roar. The fans, loyal fannies, cheer the team they adore.